What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and yes, it's another TMNT video. God, I just watching this trailer, and I don't like it. I hate the animation. I hate the style. I hate everything about it. It looks disturbing, and you can already, I'll have my response, because I couldn't even get through it a second time. I hated the trailer. But I was going through this the other day, and I want to point something out before we get into it. Leatherhead's being voiced by Rose Byrne. I don't know who this person is. So, yay, Leatherhead's getting gender swapped. Yay. Okay, anyways, back to the main thing. So, for the most part, yeah. People are responding to it very positively, I guess. I don't see it. It looks awful. I hate it. I hate the art style. I hate the way everybody looks. It drives me up a wall. But yeah, not really it's not a great ratio. It's kind of back and forth, but for the most part, people are liking it. You know, you can go through the comments. They're talking about like Spider-Verse. They like some of the stuff. They think it's nice. Yeah, it is what it is. I hate it. I think the movie's gonna be awful. I think it's going to be just dog water. I don't think it's gonna be the Turtles whatsoever. But we're gonna have to wait and see. That's the reality. Well, Seth Rogen, as the film so lovingly points out, the trailer actually points out, and I'm going to pull that up. The permanent teenager Seth Rogen. Sounds about right. Decided to do an interview. Seth Rogen would like film critics to know that negative reviews hurt and are devastating. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Oh, it gets better. By the way, he gets super depressed with negative reviews. You're a child. You are the permanent teenager. Yeah. Negative reviews are gonna hurt. Negative comments are gonna hurt. You know what you do? You buck up and you learn from it. You try to improve. Let's get into it. They start out pointing out all of his good works. Sausage Party. No, that was disturbing. No, a lot of these I highly disagree with. But he's also made some not so great films, and no one's going to try and start justice for Green Hornet campaign anytime soon. Still, having been on the receiving end of his fair share of scathing reviews, Rogen recently opened up to how it feels to have your work eviscerated in a public forum. Spoiler alert, not great. On an episode of the Diary of CEO podcast, Diary of CEO. I said that right. Shut up. Rogen spoke with host Stephen Bartlett about self-doubt and how negative reviews play into that. When asked if that kind of criticism hurts, Rogen responded empathetically, "Oh yeah, it hurts everyone, very much so. I think if most critics knew how much it hurt the people that made the things that they are writing about, they would second guess the way they write these things," Rogen said. "It's devastating. I know people who never recover from it, honestly. Years, decades of being hurt by film reviews. It's very personal. It is devastating when you are being instantly told that your personal expression was bad. That's something that people carry with them literally the entire lives, and I get why it effing sucks." Yeah, it probably does suck. That's why you do better, to use a phrase you guys like to do. The negative criticism is supposed to drive you to do better. You are allowed to critique public stuff. You are allowed to be as harsh as you want. That's their job. You don't get to complain. You don't. No, this is you showing that you have a very shallow ego. Well, very shallow? No. You have very thin skin. Well, we've also known that. I mean, we've seen your Twitter. God, you're a monster on Twitter. You are just downright awful on Twitter. And apparently, you don't like the negative criticisms. You want everybody to be held in sunshine and rainbows. But that's not reality. You do bad work. No, I don't think Sausage Party is one of his good movies. I think that's awful film. I think it's a very disturbing film. It's nothing more than raunchy, extremely raunchy humor that ends with a food orgy. Let's just be real. It is so disturbing. So no, that is not a movie. It continues. We'll come down here. Rogen added that negative reviews feel like a very personal rejection that doesn't feel constructive, but concedes that in the grand scheme of things, that they aren't that bad, and he's gotten much better in dealing with harsh criticism. Wow. Wow. Our personal rejection doesn't feel like constructive criticism. Are you serious? Now, sure, there's gonna be some really harsh, scathing reviews. That happens. You know what you do? You grow a thicker skin. You realize that, hey, sometimes you're gonna make a bad thing and people are gonna be mad about it, and it's gonna get downvoted. It's gonna get rejected. People are gonna criticize you. You buck up and you try again. This is the state of modern Hollywood, where we don't have very many film directors, film writers, or people like that that can get told, hey, I don't like thing for X reason. They immediately come back with, well, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're an ist, you're a phobe, you're everything. Because they can't stand the criticism. They can't handle the fact that, hey, maybe what they made was crap. Because a lot of the times what we're getting nowadays is crap. I don't like Seth Rogen as a person. Super bad, eh. Some of his movies, eh. I liked This Is the End until the ending. Mainly because I do view that's how they'll all end. Until the ending, but that's a discussion for another time. So what? You're getting people that didn't like something you made. Guess what? That's life. Not everybody's gonna like everything you do. Not everybody's gonna enjoy everything that you do. And sometimes you're gonna put stuff out that is downright awful. Get over it. This is the mentality of Hollywood nowadays. This is a constant issue we are dealing with. You can go to the Star Trek writers. What is the guy's name? Kurtzman. How Star Trek Kurtzman, Paramount Pictures, I think the Star Trek account, how they blocked Robert Meyer Burnett, who loves Star Trek, gave decent pushback, pointed out how he didn't like Kurtzman Trek at all, STD and all that. They blocked him. This goes to how Hollywood writers, insert regime here, Disney, MCU, well, Disney and MCU are kind of the same, Lucasfilm, all these people, how when they get any pushback on their trailers, a lot of times you'll see directors and people like that coming out and being kind of mean, kind of hey, you're this or that. They're just starting to lash out because they can't stand the criticism. Do what I do for a day. Oh, God. You'd be laughed at. You'd be viewed as weak and pathetic and probably get fired in a day. Grow a spine and grow a backbone. I come down here, and this is a little off topic, but still in the relatively same thing. You have recent Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania scribe Jeff Lovins described feeling despondent and really sad about the film's negative reaction. The film was awful. You're serious? This is the state of modern Hollywood. I keep saying that, and I know I'm repeating myself. We have crybabies everywhere. This is the cause of our whole iteration of everybody gets a trophy. Everything's good. Everything you do is amazing. Here's your trophy. Here's your trophy. You can't handle somebody writing something down saying that it was crap. And you know what? They have a Jonathan Majors quote from Ant-Man, and I kind of respect what he says here. I disagree, but I respect it. It's just people. They have an opinion. You always have an opinion. I'm no fool. I know these are people writing it. Majors added, the artists and the filmmakers that made these movies invested years sometimes into the 2 hours and 15 minutes you see. I'm not saying be nice. I'm just saying understand it's a real transaction that's happening when you put pen to paper, you know? I have some respect for that. Yeah, you guys do put a lot of work into these things. You guys do put time, effort away from your family, blood, sweat, and tears, if you would say, into these films. So maybe when somebody comes out with a scathing review that probably hurts, maybe they actually mean it. Maybe something there is true, and maybe you guys did make a god-awful movie. Maybe it was pointless. Maybe you guys did mess up. You know what you do then? You pick yourself back up, you get back to work, and you try to prove them wrong the next time. I was watching BBC the other day, the real BBC, as Gary and all them, and they pointed out the Batman. Well, Batman and Robin, that quirky movie. Fun in its own regards. Awful movie, awful Batman movie, just awful. The writer of that, and I cannot remember the dude's name off the top of my head. If you've watched me long enough, I have a hard time remembering certain people's names. But they reminded us that when that movie came out, the dude came out and said, sorry, I made a crap film. That's all that happens. If you own up to maybe your mistake, if you start being more personable and to say, hey, you know what? We made something bad. Sorry. People have more respect for you. People respect you a little bit more. If you show that you can acknowledge when you mess up, that you're going to try to do better next time, do better and more the actual trying to put out a good product, people have more respect for you. When it comes to Seth Rogen, though, who's cried, whined, came out and just belittled people for not liking something he's put out, how he's a very vindictive, divisive, just disgusting human being, I don't have any sympathy for you. When you get negative criticisms and how it hurts, you're a disgusting human being who have said some awful, heinous stuff. Grow up, pick yourself up, and get back to work. I'm not excited for the TMNT movie being made and helped produced by the permanent teenager Seth Rogen, who also always has to put himself in his own movies. Oh God, he's Bebop. Oh, the more I look at this, the deader I get inside. That's just my opinion, guys. Let me get yours down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out with friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.